All right, welcome back. Our week from the MCT podcast was nice. Michael decided to take an extra week off, so fine by him. We will happily oblige. No, we've got some
Extended
stuff going on, so
vacations are
well wishes to
nice.
you, Michael. Always nice, yeah. Almost as nice. I mean, though, so vacations are great, but man, extended vacations that hits a whole different way.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
and you plan, you get your scheduled, 4 or 5 days off or whatever, and then all of a sudden you get like somehow something works, or you get like a sixth and or a seventh. Like those 2 days, those are better than better than that whole vacation. Toddeh,
Oh yeah.
speaking of vacation, man, you were just out on the West Coast this week. How was that?
I wouldn't call that a vacation. I was helping people move. That's so
Oh, that
fun.
sucks.
It's a great
That's fair.
vacation. Oh
My
yeah.
God. It's got to be better than what you did the last time you went out there when you just drove it. You went out there just to drive a car back to Indiana.
That was so fun because like the west
God.
side of the US, like everything west of Denver is so nice to drive through. Then you get east of Denver, it's all flatlands and plains and it's just boring.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
farm.
my
It's like Indiana
gosh.
everywhere. It's all farm country when you go through.
I still can't believe you did that. But it's
I
good
did
to
see
have you
Creighton at
back.
least.
There you go. It's good to have you back on the show. It's good to be back on the show. Like I said, we took last week off for the first time ever. So missed a week for the first time ever. 20 plus episodes. It's time to get a break in there. It's
Yeah.
all right. And we got some stuff to catch up on, obviously, and we will definitely get to that. But happy belated fourth to you and to everybody else. And so it was a good time. And like I said, we wish Michael the best. Hope he gets taken care of what he needs to get taken care of tonight. So we will happily and hopefully see him back next week. We'll be at full strength. But Toddeh, we're going to jump right into some basketball today on the MCT podcast because your boy's been saying it for 25 weeks now on this show. We got video evidence for 25 weeks.
You know what? You should have made a bet on it instead, like me.
Of this kid right here telling y'all to not sleep on those Phoenix Suns. And guess what, Toddeh? Your boy was right on the money. Your boy was
like
right on the
Barkley?
money.
I wasn't sleeping on him. I bet on him.
Yeah,
I didn't even bet Milwaukee to win the championship. I bet on the Suns to win the championship.
Proud of you.
I also bet on other teams, but we won't talk about that.
That's fine. It happens. But yeah, so let's let's recap those conference finals because we did in fact obviously have both of those series wrap up in the last week when we were off. So the Phoenix Suns took on the LA Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. Phoenix ends up winning that series in 6 games, with the game 6 a demolishing win over those Clippers. Looking back at the score of last Wednesday, it was 130 to 103. Toddeh, they won that game. They clinched that series by 27 points. And if you look at this, what's really scary is if you look at the scoreboard, man, you know who did it, right? You remember who did it for game 6? It was that man who wanted nothing more than to finally go to his first NBA Finals. And if you didn't think, for whatever reason or other, if you didn't think that Chris Paul really cared about making it to the finals, if you thought he was happy with how his career has gone so far, and if you thought he was like good to just coast for the back half of his career, you didn't watch him in game 6 against those Clippers, because that was a man who was like, dude, today might be my last day ever on a basketball court. Like, I need to ball the F out. And that's what he did. He ends up dropping 41 points in the series clincher. He shot 7 of 8 from 3.
Devin Booker numbers right there.
Like, that's insane when you're talking about a 36-year-old point guard dropping 41 and 7 of 8 from 3. He's a point guard, and he only had, he had 8 assists, which is a solid
the same
number.
thing when he's 38 and still with the Suns.
It's mind-boggling. What's also impressive, man, you look at for 25 weeks, I've been telling y'all, look at these Suns, and it was for 3 reasons. It was for that 3-headed monster that they've created with Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and DeAndre Ayton. And if you look at that series clincher, those 3 are the reason they moved on in that game and balled out. Like I said, Chris Paul dropping 41. DeAndre Ayton, 16 points, 17 rebounds on 8 of 10 shooting from the field. Shot 80% from the floor and grabbed 17 rebounds. Crazy. And Devin Booker had a quiet 22. He only shot 1 of 7 from 3, and they won by 27. So you have such a strong team that when one of your 3 and Devin Booker, like, I mean, he still dropped 22, so it's a good showing, but for him, that's kind of light scoring. You still end up winning by 27. Now, it can't be overlooked. You look at the rest of it. Jay Crowder, the only other player in double figures for the Suns that night, he dropped 19 points, hit 5 of 9 from 3. So, he was a big pickup as well last season coming into this season. We saw what they did in the bubble when they went 8-0 and they became the bubble story. But really, as fun as that run was to watch, I think a lot of people, myself included, watched that 8-0 run and said, hey, this is a team that, like, they've got some pieces here. They have a lot of actual pieces. And then you go and add Chris Paul, and that was the biggest win now move we saw in the NBA this year. That was the biggest.
Ricky Rubio, though, disrespectful. Never forget.
But really, that was the biggest. You don't make if you're Phoenix, you don't make that move 3 years ago when you're just now, when you're just now kind of
James Jones 3 years ago too. Yeah, they didn't have him 3 years ago. They had him 22. Yeah. So it's all thanks to James Jones. Everyone thought when he bought out Tyson Chandler's contract, it's like, oh, he's helping LeBron out. Nah, man, he was making space.
He's playing the long game, baby. And you can't overstate how important Monty Williams, the head coach of these Suns, has been for the success of this team as well. I mean, just an unbelievably good job of coaching these young guys and mixing it in with Chris Paul. It's not easy to get a veteran to come in there and fill a role and take over and to still be able to coach all these moving pieces and these different personalities and different levels of what he needs to do. And so it's been really fun to watch, really impressive. So we'll talk a little bit more about them because we'll get into the finals. So obviously the Phoenix Suns moved into the finals. In the East, we had a fun matchup of the Atlanta Hawks and the Milwaukee Bucks. Toddeh, how fun was that conference finals? No one predicted that one at the beginning of the year, Bucks and Hawks.
What are you kidding? Everyone knew the Hawks were going to be good. What are you talking about? It sucks that in their games, both their star players got hurt.
Yeah.
And then came back hobbled.
Yeah.
But in the end, we saw a Bucks team succeed without Giannis. That was built to be a supporting role cast for him. That just won 2 games in a row against the Hawks. And then we saw the Hawks, at least, actually win games in a conference finals after being horrendous to start the season. So great run by the Hawks. They've already locked up Nate McMillan again for a future contract. So good for them.
It was a 4-year
Bucks
deal
are in the finals. That's this process they needed. They still haven't won a game in the finals since 1974, but maybe a dog on TikTok tells me they're going to win the next game. So it's guaranteed because that dog is only wrong 25% of the time. So he's great to bet on.
There you go.
He bounces balls into from a basketball on top of a staircase and go into buckets. And that's how you predict who wins.
Oh my God.
He said Phoenix the first 2 games, Milwaukee the next game, Phoenix another, Milwaukee another, and then Phoenix wins it out 4-2. So if that happens, 6. That dog is gone. He knows everything.
That's true. That's some March Madness level predicting, though. That's the stuff you see in February and early March when, how do you fill out your bracket? Well, I throw darts at a dartboard, or I bounce a ball down the stairs.
From 06 World Cup, baby.
Never there you go.
Picked every team right.
Undefeated. Father Time undefeated.
Hopefully, don't hate him.
Oh my God.
It was a zoo one,
but yeah, you brought up some good stuff with the Hawks and with the Bucks, particularly in that Eastern Conference Finals, because as you mentioned, Giannis went down. He did not play games 5 or 6 at all. Didn't step onto the court. Hyperextended his knee in game 4. And I mean, it's come out now where there were reports where Giannis included among some other people in the team, they were worried that he was done for the year. Yeah. They were really concerned that that his knee, even though the x-rays were negative and they didn't show any ligament damage, they were still really concerned that he wasn't going to be able to get out to the court. And, so, I mean, hats off to him, credit to him for working his ass off and getting right and getting healthy and in time for the finals. And, I watching games 1 and 2 of the finals so far, we've heard a lot about Giannis and what he did in that week to get ready. And, there was a lot of praise for what they called his prehab. So not necessarily his rehab, but his prehab, what he does to keep his body in tip-top shape so that he can actually bounce back from injuries faster than most people can. So his body, just think of it in a way, his body was more prepared to handle this because of the level of work that he put into to get to this point. So it's a great story. And you know what, if that is true, he needs to share his routine with a lot of other guys to kind of mitigate some injury problems that we've had, because we saw a lot of injuries this playoff run, and a lot of guys go down either before or during the playoffs. Hey, there you go. They need to be healthy. But yeah, so Bucks finish off the Hawks without Giannis 118-107 in game 6. And that game was pretty impressive and incredible to watch, because you had Chris Middleton step up and be the guy. And he scored at one point, Toddeh, he had scored 16 straight points for the Bucks in that third quarter to kind of get in control of that game. And they never kind of looked back. So congrats to them winning the Eastern Conference for the first time, as you mentioned, since 1974. And that's what's been so fun about these playoffs runs, Toddeh. I want to know how you feel about it, about the playoff run in general, because I know, like, where I stand, I love it. I've loved every bit of it. I have loved seeing different teams succeed, and I've loved seeing, those big names not make it, because it changes it up so much, and it's so much fun. And in my opinion, we're seeing the two best teams in basketball in the finals. Straight up, these are the two best teams this year in the finals.
Minus the injured Nets.
I don't know.
The Nets are injured, I would say.
Only because I would have said I would have not been surprised if the chemistry wasn't strong enough to take them to the actual finals. I mean, it reminds me a lot of like the first year with Miami with Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and LeBron, where that first year you had three superstars who didn't really know what level they could work with each other. And they found their way to the finals mainly because the East was so weak outside of Indiana. But like, they got to the finals and lost to Dallas. So, it was once they kind of got punched in the mouth, they didn't really know how to respond. But then they come back and win the next two, because not only are those three superstars, but they figured out how to work together. They figured out how to play together. They had played with each other long enough to get that chemistry. Because in basketball, chemistry, I think, is the most important factor especially when it comes to multiple superstars trying to figure out how to share one ball and, accomplish one team goal, and that's to win every game. So I don't know. Would they have won if they were healthy? Sure. It's not impossible. I'm still going to say, I think that we have the two best teams in basketball in the finals right now. And it's not too often that we get that. It feels like or if we do get that, it feels like it's the same two teams. And so it kind of waters it down, whether that's
like
right
how
or
last
wrong.
year, like the Heat got in and they probably
and it was just like, it was just like, whoa, the Heat made a run. That's kind of cool. That's different. Let's go. Yeah. You had these guys that was like, well, they're just playing good team ball right now and nobody can figure them out, until they just got too tired to keep up with the Lakers and LeBron and AD. So,
you're lucky AD got hurt, because then the
God.
Lakers would have been able to beat the Suns and all that jazz. LeBron went through the Golden State Warriors in a playing game, so that was very difficult for them. They were tired. It was tough on them and their bodies.
Tired. I legitimately I am so tired of seeing people try to discount the Suns' run to the finals by being like, "Oh, They got more injury breaks than anybody ever. And I was like, one, injuries happen in every sport every year, all the time. Part of making a championship team and a championship run is staying healthy or overcoming injuries when they do happen. And guess what? The Suns have found a way to stay healthy and to overcome that adversity.
I would say the Denver series was fine though, but
right,
because it was just Jamal Murray was injured, but that was before the finals. They already had adjusted, so that doesn't really count in my opinion.
And even in the way that series played out, they swept Denver. So even if Jamal Murray is there, they might win a game or two.
Yeah,
it's like Phoenix was still the better team, and even though they took the Lakers to 6 to beat them. I mean, they were still the better team in that series. So
only because we didn't have AD at our full potential. That's why we traded all our assets for AD, and he's injured all the time. It's great. He should go vegan.
I mean, it's
be like Chris Paul.
There you go. It's part of it's part of the deal with AD is that he has an injury history. It's like Joel Embiid, as great as he is. If he's not on the court, there's And what do people expect the Suns to do when they face an injured team? Throw up a white flag and be like, hey, you're injured. We don't want to beat you. It's not fair. No, you're going to go out and play the guys you can play.
You have to hold one hand behind your back for DeAndre because it's not fair. He's that big and that good. So he only has to have one arm to dunk things on. Yeah.
That's just crazy. It just makes no sense to me. But so we set up our finals matchup with the Suns and the Bucks. So I'm going to, for a quick second, I'm going to shout out my dad because this is the coolest thing that has probably ever happened to my dad in his entire sports watching life. I'm serious. I was actually at his house Saturday night when the Bucks won. And so we were sitting there trying to play a game and trying not to watch the game. Like we were trying to not focus on it and not check our phones and stuff. Cause my dad's sitting there talking to us and he's talking to my stepmom. And he's like, I can't even like mentally handle if my Milwaukee Bucks meet my Phoenix Suns in the finals because he was born and raised in Wisconsin. So he's been a Bucks fan, basically his entire life.
Yeah.
And we lived in Phoenix for a decade and we still have family down in Arizona. So we've been following their sports teams as well. So he's like, I can't, my brain, this doesn't work. Like my brain doesn't, he's like, I can't even handle that this is even a possibility. And then it happened and he like almost
who's he rooting for?
Yeah, I don't even know. He's like, I don't care. He's like one of my teams is going to win. He's like, one of my teams is going to win. It doesn't matter. He's like, I've never seen either of these teams win at all, Chris. It doesn't matter.
That's how I am right now.
I'm that way too, to a degree, but I am absolutely pulling for the Suns. I love that team. I've been pulling for that team for a while. I've wanted that team to win. That's who I'm rooting for. If they're going to lose, I'm so happy they're potentially going to lose to the Bucks.
Yeah.
And honestly, even if it had been the Hawks, it would have sucked because I wanted this matchup. I wanted the Bucks and the Suns, like I said, for my dad and for me and I think it's a good matchup. Yeah. But if it had been the Hawks and if the Suns would have lost to the Hawks, I could have gotten behind that too. That's how fun this playoff run was. This was so much fun to see these teams go farther than anybody expected or wanted. And so it's just been awesome. And honestly, I don't know how much you got to watch the finals game so far, Toddeh, but I actually sat down and I watched all 8 quarters of both games so far in Phoenix. Phoenix absolutely looks like the best team in basketball.
Yeah. No, they're unstoppable.
It's ridiculous what they are able to do on both ends of the floor. I don't think people understand what happened last night, for example. So they have an 11-point lead at halftime. And in the third quarter, Giannis explodes and takes over, and he is unstoppable. He does what he does best. He got to the paint. He used his length, and he dominated that quarter, and he scored 20 points alone in that quarter. It's the most points in the finals, in a finals quarter, in the last 25 years. So more than LeBron has ever put up in a finals quarter, more than Kevin Durant put up when he was in Golden State. Like, I don't think people understand how impressive that stat alone is. But here's the thing. Here's how good Phoenix was. They withstood that 20-point Giannis quarter and only lost that quarter by 1 point. Their lead shrunk to 10 because they are that good as a team, as a unit. And they were like, cool, Giannis is going to do his thing. We're just going to match him bucket for bucket and be fine. Every single time in both these games so far that I've watched, every single time that Milwaukee gets it to like within 5 and they go on a 5-0 run, a 7-0 run, heck, even an 8-9-0 run, you see the switch flip and Phoenix gets one bucket. And as soon as they get that bucket, like both sides know, oh shit, that run is over. And now here comes Phoenix again. And it is just mind-boggling to watch so far. And I have to shout out the Phoenix crowd, man. They are insane. And it is awesome. And I absolutely love. Now I know they did not start it, but I absolutely love the Phoenix crowd counting down Giannis's free throws.
No,
it's
they
incredible.
Count too fast. They count too fast.
I know, but it doesn't matter. The best part is you can actually physically watch that Giannis changes his free throw speed from the first quarter to the second half by the time, because in game 1, they were counting when they started counting him down. He was counting him out. He was shooting it at 12 or 13 seconds by their counts. By the third quarter and even the fourth quarter, he was shooting at 10 or 11, and you could tell he was hurrying up just a little bit, because I was like, dude, that's so in his head. And he even said as much after game 1. He's like, yeah, I have 20,000 people counting 1, 2, 3, with nothing else going on and me trying to hit a free throw in the finals. He's like, I have 25,000 people counting and screaming at me. Yeah, I hear it. It affects me.
I think he should use it more to his advantage. Be like, okay, I have a count timer now. I know exactly when I need to.
Yeah. Dude, I feel like if I was Giannis at that point, I would be like, all right, I'm just going to let them see how high they'll count. Why go any faster? I was like, oh, you're going to count me out? Cool. I'll shoot it at 16, 17 seconds. You guys can count to 99. You guys can count to 100 for all I care. If the refs aren't going to call me for a violation, I don't even care. Exactly. But it's so funny. But yeah, Phoenix just absolutely, and that's what bugs me about the injury talk. And they're like, oh, let's discount the Suns run. You can't watch. If you actually watch that team is so good. That team is playing the best team in basketball.
You guys don't even have Dario anymore because he got injured. So it's just now, okay, we're injured.
And Torrey Craig got hurt last night, so he's day to day, they said.
Yeah, because his came back negative. So that's good. I feel bad for Sarge, though.
I mean, that was really rough to I was watching that one obviously live, and that was really rough and unfortunate.
But hey, baby, the process is about to be finished. We're going to see one of them get a ring. Either the process failed because Drew Holiday gets a ring, or the process succeeds and Dario gets a ring.
That's so good. I love it. That's so good. Well, the best part is Torrey Craig theoretically is going to get a ring either way, because he started the year with Milwaukee and he got traded to Phoenix.
Yep.
So I'm looking at game 1 real quick. We'll wrap this segment up. But yeah, game 1, Chris Paul again, the ageless wonder. He drops 32. Devin Booker dropped 27, and DeAndre Ayton had 22 and 19. Toddeh, 22 points and 19 rebounds.
Which Chris Paul stole his last rebound to make him not get 20 and 20.
Yep, I remember that. But he needed that fourth rebound, Toddeh.
He did. He did need it. He's just so good.
And the Cams off the bench were solid for Phoenix. They've been big. Cam Johnson and Cameron Payne. They both scored 10 points in game 1. But it was, again, that three-headed monster with 32, 22, and 27 between Booker, Ayton, and Chris Paul. That's doing some quick math here. That's 70. That's 81 of Phoenix's 118 points came from the big three. And you know what? That's Brooklyn. That's Brooklyn Nets numbers with Harden, Kyrie, and KD. 81 of 118 is impressive. That's 75%. That's 3 out of 4 points were scored by those three guys. So that's huge. And then in game 2,
it doesn't matter. Nets are going to win it next year when they get Kevin Love.
Gosh,
don't count them.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be hilarious. And then last night, the big story was Mikal Bridges in game 2 for the Suns. He dropped a playoff high 27, and he just looked really good. And you would have thought that it would have been a lot from 3, and he did hit 3 threes, but he only shot 3 of 9 from beyond the arc. He just did a lot of work. He was 8 for 8 at the free throw line, and basically 50% from the floor, 8 of 15. So he just had a super solid night. Chris Paul had 23, and DeAndre Ayton had a slow game. He was only 10 points and 11 boards. He only shot 4 of 10 from the field. So he only shot 40%, but he's been averaging 80% from the floor in these playoffs. So it was really kind of different to see him get played defensively. They really matched up well against him, put Giannis on him a handful of times, and they just rotated. I give credit to Milwaukee. They rotated really well and prevented those interior passes to DeAndre Ayton that really Phoenix likes to do. But Devin Booker was also the big story. He drops 31 in game 2 last night. He shot 7 of 12 from 3. He was lights out. He was unconscious from 3. So was the team, by the way.
After getting hit on the nose again, too. He got hit on the nose again by Drew.
Yeah, he got dropped again. But yeah, they hit 20. Let's see.
You know, he should be happy his nose got hurt because it's already perfect. He'll get more. He'll get surgery for it. He'll look even better. He'll be great for Kendall. It's working out for him. It's fine.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
He'll get a ring. He'll get the money. He'll get the girl. He'll get the nose job. He's living the life.
Fantastic. So here's the crazy stat from game 2. Phoenix shot 20 of 40, right at 50% from 3-point land as a team. So again, this is such a good team because they can hit you from so many different ways. So that's our update. Phoenix takes the commanding 2-0 lead heading into Milwaukee. Game 3 will be Sunday night. Can't wait for that. And it's gonna be. I'm excited to see Milwaukee host finals game for the first time in 50 years, basically. Since '74 as well. So it's just been such a fun playoff run, and I think it's really culminating in a great epic finals match. So. Yep, it's been a lot of fun. I have one final question for our NBA topic, Toddeh. Who is going to be the Atlanta Hawks next year? Who's going to be that team that goes to at least the conference finals that we're not thinking about right now? And it can be from either conference. What's that one surprise team you think is going to either make a big move or just get healthy and have the season there, above their expectations and have a good playoff run and get to that conference finals round?
Unexpected team that's going to do well. Couldn't make the conference finals. The Minnesota Timberwolves. Here's why I say this. New coach. New coach full time. Last year, all the team, they were injured a lot, but at the end of the season when they weren't injured, Russell and Cat together, great combo.
Okay.
Their GMs have talked to each other. It's been known that Minnesota's interested in Ben Simmons, but they don't want to give up Russell or Cat. So add him in as a piece. You got 2 point guards. You can move Russell to shooting guard and have Ben Simmons be the ball dominant point guard.
Okay.
So that's fine. He'll throw lobs up to Cat. Russell will shoot ice cold threes. That's a good combo. If you have a good coach, that could be similar situation as Phoenix, in which you have. Well, I was gonna say a good point guard, but in this case, I'd move Russell as shooting guard. So a good shooting guard and a good center, who are both all-star caliber players, and we're all-stars, and then Ben Simmons, who's
also
Ben Simmons.
Yeah. Yep.
A max player. We'll say a max player.
Sure. Yeah.
So that'd be my pick, at least in the West. In the East.
Oh, you want to let's do one from each conference. That's fine. I like that. Yeah. Okay.
Because the East makes more sense of that being a possibility to happen because it's a lot more.
Yeah.
There's a lot more parity in the East than the West.
Sure.
Chicago Bulls.
Okay.
I think with Zach LaVine coming back from USA camp, he's going to pull a Kobe Bryant. When Kobe Bryant looked at Pau Gasol, says, I want to win a championship. Let's go. After they lost in the finals to the Celtics. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Bulls on that side. What about
I
you?
like it. I like it. I like it. I'm gonna take kind of a cheap route out west at least. I'm gonna say the Golden State Warriors get back to the conference finals. Theoretically, think about it. Think about
We
it. They're
said in
gonna
an
add.
Atlanta Hawk type season, they weren't bad in the beginning of the season. They were
I
pretty
know.
decent. What's wrong with you?
I know.
They
All
made it to the
right.
play-in, Chris.
Okay, fine. You got me. Let me think. So let's go take a look. Let's take a look at the West.
You can say New Orleans.
You know what? No. You know who I'm gonna go with? I'm gonna go with San Antonio. I'm gonna go with San Antonio. We'll go.
Okay.
I think we kind of know we're getting down to the end of Popovich's coaching career. Maybe they've got one more run in it for him. They'll make a move or two, just get some secret stuff and just kind of take that emotional boost and do it for Pop. And I think they can put it together. And that's a franchise that has definitely struggled the last couple of years, and the West is definitely tough, but oh, no. Scratch that. Screw the Spurs. No.
Oh,
No,
don't say
no.
Sacramento. Don't say Sacramento.
No. We're going with Memphis, baby. Ja Morant. That's all I need to say.
But they were
Ja
already
Morant.
good.
But they're going to be that. Yeah, but they're going to be. You don't expect them to make the conference finals.
True, but I'm going for like a crappy team to a good team type deal. Like a missed the playoff team to the next year.
Well, that's not what I said. I just said that team that's gonna shock the world and make it to the conference finals. Memphis fits that. I will not back down from that one. Golden State, I'll give you because no one's gonna be surprised if they make it to the conference finals when they're healthy.
Jonas Valanciunas and Domas Sabonis couldn't even beat Luka in an Olympic qualifying game. It's only Luka on that team against like 3 NBA players on the other, and we couldn't beat him. You think he's gonna help lead that team with Ja Morant to the conference finals at least? Come on, bud.
I sure do. Ja Morant's the key, man. He's gonna take that Trae Young type role this coming year. It's gonna be all on him, and he's just gonna get that growth, take that extra step, and right into superstardom. And part of being a superstar is leading your team in the playoffs. And he definitely got his first taste of the playoffs this year. And you could see how prepared he was for it, how excited he was for it, and you could tell all he wanted was to get right back there and go a step further. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Memphis out west. Watch out for them. Watch out for those boys for real. All it's gonna take, again, it's basketball. What's kind of really fun about the NBA is all it really takes is one move, one player to shift an entire team dynamic. It's not like football or even baseball where you can add one guy and it's great, but it doesn't do a whole lot for your entire team overall. Basketball is completely different, man. You add that one right dude and that chemistry piece, or even a role player off the bench, like something just clicks. And
not named Evan Turner. Got it.
There it is. That's the one. Or a Monta Ellis. Yeah, got you.
Are we finally done paying him? I think we're done.
I don't know. It may actually be one more year, but I don't know. It's bad. Whatever it was is bad.
We should just
it's not
him
Bobby
on the team for one more year. We wouldn't have to worry about paying him still.
Yeah, it's not Bobby Bonilla bad, but it's bad. But Memphis,
Larry Sanders bad. That Larry Sanders bad. Oh.
God. But okay, so Memphis is my sneaky pick for the West. Out East, you ready? You ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this because you're gonna hate it, and I don't care. I love it. Them Indiana Pacers, man. I'm telling you guys, they get healthy. They got a good coach now.
And we trade Brogdon.
And they do. Here's the real deal with them. They do, in fact, have quite a few tradable assets.
I was going to say divas, but sure, tradable assets.
I really don't think any of them have been divas. I really don't.
Everyone's saying Brogdon's a diva.
I know. I mean, and it very well could be. I haven't gotten that vibe. I don't know. I think there's a big difference between being a diva and being vocal about something that you think is going wrong. Like, and not just wanting it your way for the sake of having it your way, but like wanting something to change because you think it's going to be for the betterment of the team. And that's what I think has happened. I think the players realized, maybe not right away, but I think they realized that Bjorkgren was not going to be the answer, and they needed to get him out.
I think TJ Warren knew that before he even got hired.
Right. And like, so and that's the thing. So like, I think with that, and I know people seem to think that, they forced Nate McMillan out, but let's be honest, Nate McMillan had run his course. Everybody, you could see that he had run his course. It wasn't going to go well for that team. And you know what? Well, I'm so happy that Nate McMillan found his way in Atlanta and got to where he did and just got a 4-year deal with him. It's fantastic. I'll root for that man for the next 4 years in Atlanta. I really will. I have no bad feelings about it at all.
When Pacer coaches leave, they become good somewhere else.
It's pretty much true.
Carlisle.
Frank
Vogel.
I mean, to be fair, Frank Vogel didn't get good. He just got LeBron. He didn't have to go through LeBron. He just got LeBron on his side. There's a big difference.
He did his time in Orlando. Come on. He did his time in Orlando. Remember when he was hired by Orlando and everyone thought it was good?
I do.
Like, oh, no.
And he was not good. He was not good in Orlando because there was nobody there. So it's fine. But I do think, Indiana has already shown to be aggressive this offseason in changing their team and their culture and trying to get this right, which I commend them for. It takes a lot to come out and say, we messed this up bad, and so we're going to rip the Band-Aid off now instead of pretending that like we still made a good decision and stick it out longer and hurt your team even more. To man up and be like, look, we got it way wrong. We're messed up. We're backtracking it, and we're getting this right the next time. Takes a lot of effort and takes a lot of stones to do that. So I commend them for that. And they've been aggressive. They went and got Rick Carlisle pretty much as soon as they could. As soon as his name was out there, they were like, blank check. What do you want? Here it is, done. 4 years, almost $30 million to get for your coach. Yep. That's impressive. That's spending real money. That's going after it.
And you don't spend a lot for the assistant too.
Mm-hmm. They got Lloyd Pierce, who was it's funny because he was the Atlanta Hawks coach who got fired midseason for Nate McMillan. So now he will be, but what I've read and seen has been a lot of, he's a really good basketball mind. An assistant coach under Rick Carlisle is probably a really good fit for him instead of being the head coach. There's a lot of, because there's a big difference obviously in being an assistant and being the guy. So, you know what? It's fine. I think it'll work out. I like it. But so I expect the Pacers to be aggressive. There's actually been rumors that they tried to talk to Philly about getting Ben Simmons. So as much as I may not want that to actually happen, as much as I may not want that to happen, I'm still happy just about the fact that Indiana is throwing those lines out there and trying to make moves and trying to do things. They're not standing pat. They're not sitting on their hands and just like, well, we're going to get healthy and run it back and we'll see. So the fact that they are, I think, actively going to move some pieces around while also getting healthy, and as what we mentioned earlier, a wide open Eastern Conference, they absolutely can put together a team under Rick Carlisle that can win 2 playoff series, and I will stand by that until next season is over.
I just want to get to the second round, Chris.
I know. I just want to win a damn game.
Win one series.
I just want to win a game. We've been swept the last 3 years. I just want to win a damn game. I just want to see in the playoffs, the Pacers have a higher number than whoever the hell they're playing. One time at least. That's all I want to see.
We had that a couple games against LeBron. Oladipo was good.
It was fun. It's a good time. I remember that series.
All right, Chris.
But so that's who I legitimately think is my surprise pick in the East. So we'll obviously take a look at that. All right, we're just going to do a quick MLB update because we are just about, Toddeh, at the All-Star break. That is later on this week. Monday is the Home Run Derby, so that is going to be a lot of fun. Let me pull up. I thought I had it saved, but I am terrible and apparently don't have it saved.
That's a shame. I'm going to bet on the Home Run Derby right now while we talk. If I can.
Go for it.
I don't think I can.
Womp womp. If you're going to bet.
I can't. Home Run Derby. Who's going to be the winner?
Bet on Shohei Ohtani. On Shohei Ohtani.
I was going to bet on him because his walkouts, his warm-up song is the Juju Kaisen and Lost in Paradise. And I'm like, I love that song. This guy's my dude.
Oh my gosh,
I was
really?
gonna bet on him to be MVP now. Also, should I do that? I think I should.
Go for it.
Yeah,
absolutely. I've got a little bit about him, so I'll save some of my reasonings for that in a second. But yes, so we talked about it. Here you go. That home run derby. Looking at the bracket, it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be in Coors Field, which is the hitters park of hitters parks. So expect to see a whole hell of a lot of dingers, and it's going to be a lot of fun on Monday night. So make sure you tune into that if you love the long ball. Chicks dig the long ball. So go Monday night's going to be your night. So the number one seed is Shohei Ohtani, who hit his 33rd home run of the season tonight already. It's insane. It's unbelievable. It makes no sense, and I love every goddamn second of it. I am so here for it that I'll talk about it in a second, but I am so beyond here for it. The number 2 seed, or he's going to face the number 8 seed, Juan Soto, who's got 11 home runs on the year. The 2 seed is Joey Gallo, who has caught fire recently, and he has 23 home runs this year, but he has hit 13 in his last 10 games or some crazy number like that. So it was pretty wild. He'll face the 7 seed Trevor Story, who's got 11 homers of the year. He's the hometown kid, plays for Colorado, so really cool to get him in the Derby. So that will be a lot of fun. The number 3 seed is Matt Olson with 21 home runs on the year, facing off against number 6 seed, one of the best stories in sports, and Trey Mancini with 15 home runs. Trey Mancini, if you remember, did not play last year in the COVID year because he was dealing with colon cancer. So the fact that he actually got himself healthy during COVID and got game shape ready for this season is just an incredible story. I can't wait for 5 years from now when we get the 30 for 30 documentary on his story for 2020 and what he had to do to not only get to back to baseball, but just to survive, just to go through a colon cancer diagnosis and beat it and be okay. Like, yeah, it's just unbelievable. It really, really is. Sorry. And so that here's the 6 seed. And then the 4 seed is Salvador Perez, who's got 20 home runs on the year. Salvador Perez, about 42 years old, not really, but he's up there, finding the fountain of youth this year and some power. He's going to face off against the defending home run derby champ in Pete Alonso. So that'll be a lot of fun. Pete Alonso has 15 home runs on the year, so it is going to be a super fun derby, yeah. But if you're betting on it, Toddeh, I'm telling you, bet on Shohei Ohtani. He's already got 33 on the year.
So you think he's going to beat Juan Soto in the first round?
Oh, 100%.
Because those odds are only -150. So, like, if I bet $1 on this guy, I would win 66 cents. So okay, I should bet $1,000 on him. That's what you're telling me.
100%. You'll only win like $660, but yeah.
I'll win if I bet $1,000. I'll win $666.66.
And that's our show for the week. So
I should bet all of it. Should I? I'm not crazy enough to bet all of it on one guy.
No, I wouldn't do that.
I'll bet
as confident as I am, I'm not that confident. So speaking of Shohei Ohtani, I pulled up his stats. I wanted to talk about what he's doing because we have never seen anything like it. I saw a quote from Joe Madden, the Angels manager, earlier this week that was like, we all
the former Cubs manager.
Yes, sir. He said that, we have all kind of fantasized about watching Babe Ruth in real life and how like we've romanticized it and kind of missed, the people that are alive today are sad that they never got to see Babe Ruth. And then he literally said, we're watching him right now. And the fact that he's not that far off is mind-blowing. It is insane what Shohei Ohtani is doing this year at the plate and on the mound. It makes no sense. It's amazing. So this year, coming into today, Shohei had 32 home runs and is batting about 280. With 69 RBIs. Mm-hmm. And then if you look at his pitching stats, he has 13 starts. where was it? He's got 13 starts. He's 4-1 on the year with a 3.5 ERA and 87 strikeouts. So he's on pace for a 200 strikeout pitching season with, well, that's just not right. With like 60 plus home runs. It's incredible. It makes no sense. It's never happened before. It may never happen again. I'm just telling all of you, not even just baseball fans, I'm telling all you sports fans to tune in to the Shohei Ohtani show. Tune into the show. Watch him. You will not be disappointed. He is the most fun player to watch in baseball right now. It's just incredible. It's not close.
Why would they turn it into a video game, Chris? MLB The Show's a game. This isn't life.
He's putting up bigger than video game numbers. Like, I want you to, okay, as silly as this sounds, I want you to think about the fact that MLB The Show 21 came out April 20th of this year. Okay? So little over 3 months that I've had this game on my PlayStation. Okay?
Yeah.
I actually have, in the first month of the game being out, they released a Player of the Month special Shohei Ohtani batting card. So he got a diamond batting card with pretty high power and good contact, whatever. He's my team leading hitter in home runs with 33. So in the video game, in 2.5 months, I've hit as many home runs with him against the computer on like rookie difficulty as often as I can, as he has hit in real life all season. It's insane. It makes no sense. It's unbelievable. So the final things I'll say about him, he has 33 home runs already this season. That's the most before the All-Star break since Chris Davis hit 37 back in 2013. That insane year he had in Baltimore when he hit like almost 60 home runs. Mm-hmm. That's the pace that we're talking about. Also, with his 32nd home run, the one he hit the other day, he became the leading. Hold on. How do they word this? So he's now, with that 32nd home run, he has the record for most home runs by a Japanese-born player in the MLB. And we're not even at the All-Star break. Also, he's a pitcher. It's crazy. It's insane. And I love every second of it. I cannot wait to see what his numbers look like at the end of the year. I just can't wait. They're going to be the stupidest numbers we've ever seen in baseball, and I'm here for every second of it. The last bit of our MLB update, I have to be a good podcast host and talk about the good times and the bad times. And right now, we are in the bad times. We are in the bad timeline for Cubs fans. They have broken their losing streak finally the other day.
After 11 games, Chris? Was it 11 games?
But not before it hit 11 games, and it couldn't have come at a worse time because it came at the hands of 2 sweeps to division rivals in the Milwaukee Brewers and the Cincinnati Reds. And while getting swept by those Brewers, the Brewers ended up going on an 11-game winning streak of their own. So literally the standings flipped, and the Cubs, who 2 weeks ago were in first place in the division and talking about being buyers at the trade deadline and adding pieces and going on a playoff run, are now all of a sudden thinking about, well, we might have to be sellers, and what do we do? And we're 7.5 games back. So it's horrifying what 2 weeks has done to this Cubs team, and it makes me very sad. But on the happy note to end this, the Cubs did kick the shit out of the Cardinals today, 10-5. So a lot of fun there. It's a good time. My favorite part was Chris Bryant did not start today, was available as a pinch hitter, pinch hit in the 7th inning, saw 1 pitch, crushed it to the wall, cleared the bases for a 3-run double, and then sat his ass back down on the bench and chilled out for the rest of the day. So literally got up, saw 1 pitch, drove in 3, sat down, got the W, chilled out. Love it. Sign that man, extend him for life, make him a goddamn Cub for life. Make him a goddamn Cub for life. All right.
All right, they won't.
I know they won't. Because they don't want to spend money, and it's insane. Okay, I don't want to go into a rant on that, but that's our MLB update. So Just about the All-Star break. So a lot of fun, good time around the league. Watch Shohei Ohtani every chance you get, guys. You're not going to regret it. And tune into that home run derby on Monday night in Coors Field. It's going to be a lot of fun. Toddeh, we got a couple other things to talk about, buddy. And I think I want to let you take the lead on these guys.
Great. So this weekend is arguably probably the best weekend in soccer outside of the World Cup. We have two epic games this weekend. The first on Saturday is down in Central America in the Copa. We have fan favorites of the two, Argentina and Messi, versus the team nobody likes because they think it's rigged against everybody else, Neymar and Brazil, facing off. So Argentina, Messi, Brazil, Neymar, former teammates, now rivals. Messi's best chance to win this tournament that he's ever had because he's finally in the finals. So hopefully he doesn't choke. It's a team sport, but we're all going to throw it on Messi anyway. Everyone thinks that Brazil's been cheating this tournament, that the refs have been going and giving them good calls. So it's in really? Brazil that they're holding it. So
what do you think, Toddeh?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
I'm curious.
South American Soccer Federation is just corrupt, in my opinion. Just like the American one, the North American one is kind of.
Okay.
CONCACAF. So
but at least
I'm hoping Messi pulls off and Argentina pull up and win.
But at least it's fun to say, right? CONCACAF.
Yeah.
Can't say that. Can't say that and not smile. Like,
it's such a stupid name. Like, it's such a stupid federation name.
CONCACAF. It's fun. It's good time.
On the other side of the pond over there, we have.
Oh, I like what you did there.
I know. Right? I like. We have arguably the most annoying final. We have the English finally getting to a Euro Cup final since their first major tournament final since 1966, I believe. So all their fans are annoying. They keep shouting, "It's coming home! It's coming! Oh, it's coming!" I feel sorry for the Scottish. I feel sorry for the Welsh. I feel sorry for the Irish, Northern and regular Irish. So hopefully they lose, even though they've been remarkably doing well. They face off against Italy, who I bet this is another one of those things where I saw on TikTok saying the final's going to be England versus Italy. And then I bet on Italy to win their game against Spain. And then they won in penalties, so I lost my bet because it was only for the regular time for the match, not overtime. So Italy, who has somehow rolled their way into the finals after beating good teams when they're not that good of a team. So it's like how the Miami Heat got into the finals last year as an equivalent. Okay. Versus England, who have, I don't want to say rolled in also. They just had a luckier pool of teams to face.
Okay. So got a luckier draw.
Yeah, basically. They got a luckier draw. And then Italy somehow has just beaten teams they're not supposed to beat, which makes no sense.
Cool.
But yeah, we got fun. So it's either coming home or it's going Rome. The game is gonna finish off in England, in Wimbledon, I believe. So home field advantage for the English, but we'll see what happens. That's on Sunday. The Copa game's on Saturday, so 2 good days. So I'm thinking Argentina wins, and then I'm thinking England wins this game against Italy. I want Italy to win just because I want them to have some national pride in soccer again because their league isn't the best anymore. League Series A. It's like 5th tier. It's like 5th best league in the world now. So it's like, but
top 5. It's not bad. Top 5. Okay.
U.S. is catching up on them. That's the sad part.
Okay,
we're catching up, so that means they're bad.
Yeah, that's a little sad.
Yeah. In terms of viewership and numbers, so sucks for them. But so arguably some good soccer's coming up this weekend, so that'll be good to see.
Yeah, that'll be a good time. I mean, anytime you have a tournament finals in whatever sport, I mean, obviously, that's what that whole thing is. That's what that sport's culminating into. Culminating into is, any kind of championship is big.
Speaking of finals, Chris, we forgot to talk about some hockey that happened as well.
So the fact that we have now completely confirmed that lightning does in fact strike twice. So yeah, congrats to the Tampa Bay Lightning for defeating the Montreal Canadiens in 5 games.
5 games.
5 games.
They won. They lost away, and then they won at home to take the cup, which is a good story ending because you win at home. It's good for the fans. They couldn't do it last year. They'll do it this year. $17 million over the cap, even though they wanted to stop that rule, but the league said no. So this is what you get, league. You get teams that can go over the cap. You know how that worked, right? The cap situation.
I saw something about it. Yeah, I didn't really read too much into it because obviously, the NHL as a whole is not necessarily my cup of tea. So it's harder for me to dive in. But yeah,
what the situation was, they had a player that was injured throughout the entire year. So his cap space didn't count against him. He comes back right before the playoffs when they've already signed players to fill his space. Okay. So essentially, they're over $18 million on the cap now when he comes back because they have a player worth that much.
Gotcha.
It's like $17 million, but still.
And they wouldn't have been able. So if he was healthy, they wouldn't have been able to sign those
other
replacement players that they signed. Gotcha.
Which the Blackhawks did this when they won their couple titles. Tampa Bay is like, we want to change this rule, close the loophole. Leagues, everyone said no, we're going to keep this loophole in. Tampa Bay said, I'm going to do it then too. So
then
now
I guess I get to use it. So awesome.
First dynasty of 2020, the 2020s, baby. The first dynasty of the 2020s.
There you go. There it is.
Yep.
There it is. So how pretty crazy is it? I saw a little tweet yesterday about the fact that Tampa Bay has gotten to celebrate 2 sports titles happening in Tampa Bay in 5 months. So the Bucks won the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay, and then 5 months later the Lightning won the Cup in Tampa Bay. So Party City for sure there. I don't know, the new
just
title
having
town.
A good time in general.
Definitely not the new title town, but yeah, Tampa Bay's having fun. So yeah, shout out to them, but also shout out to Montreal with a great run, getting to their first Stanley Cup final since '93. That's a lot. I mean, that means something. I know there are sports fans and people out there that try to tell you that if you don't win it all, then you failed and you lost, and that that's the beauty of sports, in my opinion, is that is simply not true. I just don't. I've always refused to believe that. I've always thought that, like, man, what's great about sports is the storylines. Even if they don't end in championships, the storylines and the athletes and the fun and the moments. It's the moments that that matter more than the titles. Because in a sense, titles come and go. You'll forget about who won it all in 2017, and you'll forget about certain things, but there are moments and players and stuff that you'll never forget.
Yeah, tell that to the Pistons randomly, who won 04, but haven't won since. They suck. They don't care. They want to win again.
I mean, yes. And obviously, like I said, but they haven't had any storylines that have been worth remembering in these 16 years.
How dare you? They had Blake Griffin. That was a great storyline.
Yeah, non-dunking Blake Griffin. Non-dunking Blake Griffin until he's like, oh, now I'm in Brooklyn. Here we go. I remembered how to jump.
Oh my goodness, my knees are recovered, everybody.
What is happening? The air in Brooklyn is just so obviously crisp and clean. The hustle and bustle. Oh my gosh. But
the gravity's lower.
There it is. He's got lower gravity. He's got those moon shoes. He got those moon boots on or something. But I mean, look at here. But most recent example. Look at the Hawks. You think they're sad about their season? I mean, I'm sure obviously there's a part of them that wanted to go to the finals and wanted to win it all. Yeah. But they'll look back on this season. You can't tell me you can't look back on this season as a success. At the end of the day, they should be, and I'm sure
because they're not going to get swept by the Suns.
Hey,
That's true. It's true though.
It's not false, hopefully. But Toddeh, we have sort of, kind of NFL-ish football next month, by the way.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah, I know. I'm so ready. And we'll get guys. So you, the viewer, I'm talking to you now. So y'all know, like, as a group of three, I think football is going to be where our bar is the highest. I think as a group of three, I think we'll be. You're going to get a lot of football talk from us.
DraftKings season, or FanDuel.
Definitely be on the lookout for that. Toddeh, do we have anything else before we want to get into wrapping up and our picks of the week, bud?
One last thing. We got a fight coming up this weekend. We got another Conor McGregor fight coming up. A stacked card for UFC this weekend. If Michael was here, Michael would tell you all about it, but he's not here, unfortunately. So I'm here just to say, hey, there's a good betting event happening right now. Everyone, let's bet on Dustin Poirier to beat Conor McGregor, because McGregor has been on a losing streak, and I don't think he's going to win again. He needs to go back to a different weight class, in my opinion. Okay, that's just my thoughts about it, Chris. Because you were all about the hype of McGregor, and then no more hype.
You can't be in the you couldn't really be in the sports world the last few years and not get a taste of the hype around Conor McGregor. He was untouchable, unbeatable, and like you said, on a losing streak all of a sudden, and in a sport that's that brutal, physically and mentally, and even emotionally, and all those things. Once you're kind of old news once you lose. Like people move on real quick in that sport because there's no teams to be a fan of to go through a tough year or two and rebuild and come back. Like you don't really have that opportunity when you're talking about a single individual person in a sport like that. Or you can be a fan of McGregor and be like, well, I hope he bounces back. But at the end of the day, once he loses two, or if he loses this one, like a lot of people are going to throw in the towel and go pick a different fighter to be a fan of for the next 3 years, and then move on as well. I mean, a good example is, if you look in the last 10 years or so, you got Ronda Rousey was the hype of fighting in general, not just women's, not just UFC. I mean, she was the bar of everything. And then as soon as somebody came for that throne and she lost and somebody else, started picking up the hype. I mean,
Holly Holm.
It was just reversed. It was just it almost felt to a point like Ronda who, but it really, I mean, obviously she had an incredible career, has done other things besides fighting, and has made a name for herself. And, I might be over exaggerating what happened, but that's how it feels like in this particular sport, where once you lose, especially more than once, you kind of start hearing the story shifts. The story shifts from, undefeated, greatest of all time, who can possibly top this person, to like, can they ever win again? Are they going to fight again? Are they done? I mean, like, the story just changes so quickly I mean, so eventually someone's going to come knocking on that door for McGregor, and it could be Dustin Poirier.
Yeah. All right, I think that's all I have then, Chris.
All right, we're going to do our picks of the week. I'm going to go Tuesday night. We have our MLB All-Star game. Historically, essentially, it has been dominated by the American League in an embarrassing fashion for the National League. But once every blue moon, 8 years or so, the National League finds a way to scrape out a win. This is going to be that year in Colorado. And I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to say in Colorado on Tuesday night, Chris Bryant of the Chicago Cubs, who is an all-star reserve, so he will not be starting. He will come in the 5th inning or so. He's going to have two plate appearances in the game. He's going to hit 1 home run and have 3 RBIs, and he's going to be named your 2021 All-Star MVP because he will hit what will eventually be the game-deciding home run in the 6th or 7th inning. He'll hit a 2-run bomb that'll give the National League the lead, and they'll hold it for the rest of the night. And Craig Kimbrell will get the save. Also, the other Cubs All-Star representative. So that's where I'm going. I'm going National League. We'll say 6-4.
Okay. I'm gonna go with pick I was already talking about earlier today. I'm gonna go England versus Italy. England wins 2-1. Full-time match. I think Italy scores 1, and then England comes back, scores 2 to win it. Probably 30 minutes in, Italy will score, then 40 minutes in, England will score, then about 60 minutes in, England will score again. It'll be a largely boring game outside those 3 goals. Ending of it, England finally wins the game that they invented again. Hooray for them. Whoop-de-doo. They'll still suck at everything else. But it's a good moment winning the Euro. Cristiano Ronaldo won the Euro back in, 2016, 2018? I believe it was 2016. And that was the best national team moment for him in his life because he's never won a World Cup.
Sure.
Messi's going to say the same thing when they win the Copa. So it's a really big moment for teams like that. U.S. has won the Gold Cup a couple times, so we don't really care because our competition sucks. But
we're really good, Toddeh.
No, our competition just is trash. We have to face Trinidad. They're garbage, and we lose to them too.
And Tobago.
We don't care about the other half. I'm not respecting them enough. They don't get the respect. I don't care about them.
All right. Well, you know our MCT rule. Once we start disrespecting other countries, it's time to call it a night.
I'll take an international crisis. They're corrupt. They're the ones that led the CONCACAF corruption. Wait, don't forget about Michael here. Michael's got a pick too.
Well, I'll throw it in there, I guess. We'll be nice. What's Michael's pick?
Okay, let me look and find it. Okay. Pick of the week is HRD with Joey Gallo. Home run derby with Joey Gallo winning it all because he's being stupid hot going in. Michael, we don't care about his looks, buddy. Like, just talk about the game plan. Okay,
got him.
We get it. He's an attractive man, all right?
That's fine. Also, if you're talking about being an attractive dude, again, it's Shohei Ohtani. He's on fire, literally. Go look at that man. Go watch that man. He's incredible.
Because this is Michael's pick, that means it's gonna be wrong, everybody. Don't vote for Joey. Vote. Love in paradise, man.
Dude, so you're ready. Hey, you just be ready. Monday night when Joey Gallo loses in the first round, you just we're gonna bombard him. It's gonna be a good time.
Crap on him.
Yeah,
Michael, this is your fault.
That's
put your money where your mouth is.
That's what we do best on the MCT podcast.
I'm happy about this now because now I know my guy's gonna win.
Hey,
let's go.
Oh, it's too good. All right, so there we have it. I'm going with the National League over the American League in the All-Star game. Toddeh is going with England over Italy in the Euro finals this weekend. And Michael is going with Joey Gallo to win the home run derby. A bold decision, regardless of who he picked, because instead of taking a 50-50 shot on a pick on a game, he is going for a 1 out of 8 shot on a game. So
props to him, I guess. But
I mean, when you're down to dump, sometimes you got to take that Hail Mary. So you know what?
We'll give him extra points this time.
Yep. No. But. All right, guys, that will do it for this week's MCT podcast. Thank you again so much for tuning in. We will see you next week, and we will recap, the NBA Finals and things like that. So definitely check us out. Same time, same place next week. Have a good week.